Talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So I liked singing ever since I was little, and I was in the school choir. And there was once where I just like auditioned for a solo part. And I mean, people tell me that I had a nice voice and stuff, but it didn't really register with me. Because I was like, oh, they're just being nice. But then like fortunately I got the part of the solo for the first song that we sang, and I was the first solo. And when I heard my voice through the microphone, I was like, oh wow, so maybe this is what people are hearing. Because like when you hear your own voice, like not through a microphone, it's kind of different from what other people are hearing. So I got to hear my voice for the first time through a microphone, and I was like, oh wow, this is nice.
Hmm.
Maybe yeah, like, maybe that's like my calling. So I think that's how I got started. And then when I was 14, I sought out some voice teachers in LA. I went with like maybe at least three or four different voice teachers before settling down with one of them. And she was the one who introduced me to the label in Japan, because she lived in Japan before, and I was actually at her house just practicing singing a J-pop song, and then she was on the phone with this person in Japan, and they heard me sing, and they were like, oh, why doesn't she come over for an audition? So that's how it all got started.
Wow, wow. And a few years ago, you had a major, major hit in the market. What are some of the things that you learned during that ride? That spawned a lot of things for you, incredible things. But what are some of the things that you learned, to be 100% true about the music industry?
Um, I think, wow, that's a hard question. Um, I think one thing that is really difficult is to sort of still be true to yourself and follow your initial passion that you came into the industry with. I think that's the most important. And sort of not to get too distracted by other things and to really focus on the creativity within the music.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good point. Good
Mm.
points. All right, so let's bring us all up to date. You have a new single out. It's called Destiny.
Yep.
Um, Tell us about this song.
Yeah, sure. As I've mentioned earlier, I worked on this song in the studio with Jam and Lewis in Santa Monica. And so the reason that I decided to cover some of my old songs is because I guess my old Japanese label is quite analog, and they don't have any of my songs on like Spotify. They had it on like iTunes Japan, but if you
Mm,
could only like download them if you're in Japan, so they're
wow.
still a bit old school. And then
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, why don't they have it on Apple Music or Spotify? And then I asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, we just haven't gotten to it yet. and then and then they were like, oh, but you can cover your own songs, and then if you own the masters, then you could release it by yourself. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I've decided to release some of my songs, and Destiny is the first of them. And I decided to slow it down and make it different, but some of the other songs are just going to be pretty much the same because I really liked them. I mean, I liked Destiny the way it was too, but I wanted to reinterpret it
Mm,
this time. And the concept of Destiny is really interesting, and one of the reasons I chose to cover this one as the first is because originally so the song is about like this girl having a crush on a guy.
mhm,
But then in the end, there's a whole section in English about how she's living her dream. It's the universe is calling out to her. This is like universal destiny. So it kind of ties into like singing is my dream, and this was meant to be sort of a double meaning where uh, Destiny is both talking about her the protagonist's relationship with a guy and her relationship with music and destiny, and that music is her destiny. So, and that was why also it was the title track to my first album. And so I thought that that carried an interesting message, and that I wanted to, I guess, sort of make a statement or send a message that I haven't forgotten about music, and it has been my calling, and it's kind of calling me back to release more songs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Yeah. So right now, are you building towards EP or album, or are you just going to continue to release singles?
Yeah, originally the plan was to release an EP, but because the singles that I have planned are all a little bit different, and including in different languages, so I'm still trying to figure out how to plan that. But definitely I have at least 4 other songs in the pipeline that are all my songs and not just covers of other people's songs.
Nice.
Yeah. So 2 of them are gonna be covers of songs that were on my old album. One is called Painting, and it's a J-pop / R&B song. And we worked on this song with Tom Keane, who was on one of Celine Dion's albums. And then the second song is called Echo. It's also by Jam and Lewis and me, and we were in the studio working on this together. I came up with the concept and most of the lyrics and the storyline, and then they did the music. So I'm really looking forward to these 2 releases, as well as 2 other originals by me. One is going to be sort of a soft ballad that kind of caters to the local market here in Hong Kong, and then another one is going to sound sort of like Jason Mraz's song.
Nice. So I'm a huge fan of cover art, and yours look like it will make a fantastic vinyl cover.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the art direction. To me, it's like you're at a port. Of course, the title of the single is Destiny, and you're able to look behind you, and you would say there's nothing out there, but I also see a small range of mountains there. Could be an island, and even though you could look out there and say, "Hey, there's nothing there." Isn't that kind of like what destiny is? You look out in your life, you don't really know what's there until you take a boat or a plane or a car, you walk to get to your destination. But that's my point of view. What are you saying with the direction of this cover art?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, this was really random, but I actually took this picture last summer, before all COVID happened and we were able to travel. And I was in Japan with my husband, and we were just driving along the sort of the southern areas in Shikoku. There's some islands there, and this train station, I think it's not there's no trains that actually pass through it anymore. I'm not sure, but this was like a place that's often referenced in Japanese mainstream media, like in anime and dramas and stuff. And so I was like, oh, let's go check it out. And then it was actually really hot, and I remember sweating, but we took some pictures, and I actually uploaded it on my Instagram already as a part of my traveling series. And then I was thinking about the cover art for Destiny, and I was like, and I flipped through old pictures, because I was debating whether to do a new shoot or to use one of my old pictures. And then I saw this one. I was like, wow, I feel like this is perfect. Just as you said, it's kind of like the background where there's there's nothing out there, and but then you can see some mountains. It's actually the ocean and some mountains in the background, and it's
Nice.
kind of like destiny is calling for me. I don't know what's out there, but I'm gonna pursue it anyways, and I'm gonna,
Hmm.
overcome challenges and things like that. So
That's dope. I like it. I
thank
like
you.
it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
for sure, for sure. So I want to play the single.
Mm,
Normally we're not able to play music during our Skype calls and
mm,
Skype conferences, but I want to
mm-hmm.
try something different tonight and actually
Okay.
play the music if I'm able to.
Mm,
Uh, so guys, stay tuned and bear with me here. All right.
all
It's
right.
called Destiny. It's by Tiana
Yes.
Xiao.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
Destiny, 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 distant yet so familiar. It's calling me. Destiny, 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 so inevitable, like it's meant to be. 胸のチェーンが弾け飛んで星や月が散らばってなんか悪い予感ってそれだけじゃ片付かなくてそんな時はかなり人のアドバイス恋の占い揺れちゃってちょっと強いアクション怖がってばかりだけど本当観測なんて関係ないこの気持ちは隠せない君のことしかもう見えない Destiny, 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 distant yet so familiar. It's calling me. Destiny, 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 so inevitable, like it's meant to be. 星が結んでく糸はきっと信じるこの想いだけ花や空や人もどこか同じ場所でつながってちょっと熱いリアクションするたびにきらめてくんだなんて話してる君は絶対守りたい壊れそうな時代まっすぐな目に惹かれていく Destiny, 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 distant yet so familiar. It's calling me. Destiny, 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 so inevitable, like it's meant to be. Destiny, 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 distant yet so familiar. It's calling me. Destiny, 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 so inevitable, like it's meant to be. I love you, good. 伝えたい時ほどこんなに胸が切ないけど I'm living my dream. It's my destiny. Why do you believe? Universal destiny. destiny.